All right, here we go. It is, I almost said October. It's August 19th, 2025. It's like 10:55 p.m. where I am. I've decided today to set a goal of what I should be doing with Khan Academy. I realized that compared to other courses, the current reading and language arts course I'm taking, it's kind of short. I can make it long if I start reading everything, but afterwards, what should I be striving for in Khan Academy? I've decided before I move on to finish the rest of Unit 1 for 4th grade today to show you guys a little bit more of what I saw in Khan Academy. So, we'll come back to this. So, in one of my streams, I saw that there were badges. And right now I'm level 10. So, I have a handful of badges right now. And so the one I was looking for the most, looking at the most, was the Maelstrom Badge. And I decided to look, and I'm like, okay, in order to get that, I need to be level 100. And I'm like level 10 right now. But I thought to myself, why not strive for something great? I think after not just after, but during and even after I finish this language arts course, I'm going to try to get level 100. And I thought to myself, oh yeah, okay, there must be like hundreds or even thousands of people who've probably already got this badge already. But I looked up the Maelstrom Badge on the Khan Academy wiki, and it says Maelstrom Whirlwind is a black hole badge that was added on October 18th, 2024. To obtain this badge, your account must be level 100. This is the first black hole badge that has a description, that does not say question mark, and also has the most difficult level badge to get. As of release date, the last one in the list of black hole badges. An easy way to check how far you are into getting said badge is to go to your homepage and find your level on the menu at the top of the screen. Description: you have achieved mastery, a monumental whirlwind of wisdom, mastering 4,950 skills. He has reached level 100. Sorry, ladies and non-binary people. But yeah, the only verified users worldwide to earn this badge are now Yechdoth Tal Emoticus and Kevin. Hey, my name is Kevin too. And there's a reference to this. I want to see this reference. I didn't click on this. Oh, it's the actual their profile. Let's see if it loads. I have a tendency to go lower than where the camera is, so I'm going to try to stay as high up as possible during this stream. The middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Albert Einstein, that's cool. Kevin at Khan. Dang, this website's taking a minute to load. So while that loads, yeah, I think I'm naming this stream Path to Maelstrom because that's what I want to get. 4,900. I'm like, okay. I saw a pyramid the other day on Reddit, on the Khan Academy subreddit, that showed the total skills, and it was a really freaking big pyramid. So I have a lot of work to do. I probably haven't even scratched the surface, and if the leveling system is anything like RuneScape, once I hit level 92, I'm halfway there. Well, maybe, I don't know. Oh, here we go. So this guy joined 13 years ago. He's accumulated 41,527,210 energy points. He's completed 17,781 videos. Oh, so it does count that. Okay. Look at all that. He's got so many. He has 2 black hole badges. Spin-off of Challenge Waving Snowman Before Climate Change Meets Him. Spin-off of Project What's for Dinner. Oh, okay, interesting. Let's see his badge counts. So he has. I just want to jump straight into the Maelstrom. I saw he had the Tesla black hole badges. Here we go. Does he have all of them? I think so. Okay, interesting. That's cool. So yeah, I have a ways to go. I have 5 skills, so I need to get like 4,950. Haven't even scratched the surface, but you know, everyone has a day. Everyone starts at day 1, or in my case, day 5. So yeah, I want to strive for this. Might take me a while. I don't know if it took this guy 13 years, but hey, it's part of the journey. Maybe I'll do a speed run sometime and see how far I could get. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to work on the rest of Unit 1, Heroes and Heroines. Okay, I should complete this unit vocabulary too. Okay, this is a list of some important vocabulary words you'll find in this unit. You'll probably know some of the words already, though others may be new. Take some time to review all of the words before moving on to the next lesson. Ability. Oh, I don't know if it started adding this in 3rd grade, but the addition of these pronunciation guides is cool. Ability. Being able to do something. Oh, excuse me. Ability again. Skill at doing something. Okay, for the first one. The young superhero had the ability to move things with her mind, which came in handy when her parents asked her to clean up her room. And this one is, because of his amazing swimming ability, he was able to rescue the puppy that fell in the river. Admire. To like and respect someone because of what they've done or what they're like. I admire my aunt because she's a brave firefighter, and I admire my brother because he can balance a stack of 18 marshmallows on his head. That's crazy. Courage. I'm looking at my stream real quick. I wonder if I should make me bigger. Nah, I'm good. Maybe I'll add some music. I'm still waiting for approval to play some music that a friend of mine made. But yeah, maybe some music I might play some lo-fi, commercial-free, or copyright-free lo-fi. Play this. There we go. That's chill. I like that. Okay. Courage. Bravery. Being willing to do something even if you're afraid. Courageous. Able or willing to do something even if you're afraid. Describe. To use words that explain what something is like. Description. Words that explain what something is like. Heroic. Like a hero. Very brave. Heroism. Acting like a hero. Being brave or good. Inspire. To make someone want to do or be something. Inspiration. A person or thing that makes you want to do, be, or create something. I like that. Myth. A story from the past that explains nature or the world. How do they use this one? Myths explain things like why the sun sets or why the stars shine, but I can't find a single one that explains why I'm not allowed to stay up until midnight. Oh, that's cheeky. Mythology. A group of stories that people in the past used to explain nature or the world. Villain. The main bad character in the story. Okay, I'm going to go back. Let's move to lesson 4. Theme and summary. Have you ever struggled to summarize a story? Well, friends, I'm coming to you today with a sensational new thought. Technology. By Jove. Has it ever got a catchy name? It's SWBST. Okay, maybe not the easiest to say aloud, but it's a very useful tool to summarize what happens in a story. SWBST stands for Someone Wanted, But So Then. Created by David Renstrom.
Readers, hello. Have you ever struggled to summarize a story? Well, friends, I'm coming to you today with a sensational new thought technology, and by Jove, has it ever got a catchy name. It's Okay, maybe not the easiest to say aloud, but it's the best we've got because it's a very useful tool to summarize what happens in a story. Swoopst. Swoopst stands for someone wanted but so then. You see, swoopst. It's basically an easy way to figure out what the most important parts of a story are. Who the main character or characters are, what they wanted, problems they got in their way, what they did about it, and what happened as a result. I know what you're thinking, but David, how does it work? Great question, readers. You can use the swoopst on any story at all. Don't believe me? I'll prove it. But first, we'll need a story. Once upon a time, there lived a little gnome in the woods named Arabella who wanted nothing.
Oh, hello, one viewer. Thanks for joining me this evening. I appreciate you here just on Khan Academy today. Determined to get my Maelstrom Badge, which means reaching level 100. Yeah, so today I'm on 4th grade vocabulary, and we're working on summarizing with SWBST or swoopst.
Nothing more than to live by herself and eat the onions that she grew. But one day, a crow came to Arabella and said, "Hey lady, there's a problem with the onions." This was how Arabella learned of the onion blight. It was a terrible disease that caused nearly everyone's onion crop to turn to dust in the fields. Arabella put on her backpack and journeyed into the danger lands. There she faced down Lord Nasty, who had come up with the evil spell that was ruining all the onions. She told him, "Knock it off, or I'll turn you into a bug." He refused to stop the onion blight, so she turned him into a bug. The onion blight went away, and Arabella returned to her home in the woods once more, and ate raw onions to her heart's content. Now that we've got our story, I'm gonna swoopst. Someone wanted, but so then. Someone, well, that someone is Arabella, our gnome hero. Wanted. What did she want? She wanted to be left alone and eat onions. But her peaceful life was interrupted by the arrival of the onion blight. So the onion blight came. So what'd she do about it? So she went to the danger lands to stop it. Then she defeated Lord Nasty by turning him into a bug and returned home to the woods.
Oh.
Swoopst. Gosh, it gets easier every time I say it. The last step in summarizing a story is to take the information from your swoopst and write it out in complete sentences like so. Arabella wanted to be left alone and eat onions, but the onion blight came. So she journeyed to the Dangerlands to stop Lord Nasty, who had caused the blight. She defeated him and returned home. If you want to summarize a story, just remember to swoopst. You can swoopst anything. David out.
That's a really cool tool. I've never heard of this tool before. But then again, when I was in 4th grade, my teacher wasn't that great, in my opinion. So, yeah, he always gave me straight A's, but I never learned anything. Well, I learned a few things here and there, but it wasn't anything challenging. Exercise time. Ready? Show us what you can do. 4 questions. All right, here we go. Let's see. Oh, that's a cool background. This passage from Everly's Otherworldly Dilemma, a short story by Ellen O. A fairy godmother has just offered Everly magical powers to help defend her world from an army of monsters. Everly had always wanted magic, but now that the offer was before her, she didn't know if it was the right thing to do. But she thought of Max and Jeff and Adam. She thought of how they'd had to escape from Otherworld because they were hunted by fairy folk. If war came to her home, then none of them would ever be safe again. She would never forgive herself if something happened to her friends and family. Everly didn't feel like a hero, but staring at the worried faces of her friends, she knew she would do anything to protect them, even if it meant leading an army into battle. Which sentence best states a theme of the passage? Caring about others helps you find your own courage. Family relationships are more than friendships. Everly should take magical powers to protect her friends. Success comes to people who never give up. I think it's this first one. Yep. This is the best choice. At first, Everly wasn't sure if she should accept the magical powers, but she didn't feel like a hero. But when she thinks about her friends and family, she realizes that she would do anything to protect them. So by thinking about helping her loved ones, Everly found the courage to be a hero. I like that. All right. Ooh, circuit board, magnifying glass, soldering iron, wooden workbench. Okay. This passage from Supermax and the Mystery of Thornwood's Revenge by Susan Vaught. The narrator is Max, a 12-year-old girl who uses a motorized wheelchair. She solves mysteries using her skills with technology and electronics. Superheroes should never be grounded, but if I had to be grounded, being stuck in my grandfather's workshop wasn't all bad. Tapia and I sat close together in the giant metal outbuilding. What the heck is an outbuilding? Oh, okay. Since I wasn't allowed to be on my own with tools and wires for a while, which is so completely bogus because that fire was totally an accident. He gave my circuit board a quick once over. Oh, excuse me. You about done with that thing? If we're out here much longer, I'll need to turn on the heat. 1 minute, maybe 2, I said. It's just a kit, and I didn't change much. He went back to the chair, twisting the screwdriver and mumbling at it like I could understand him. I squeezed the red, clown-nosed top of my joystick. It honked as I motored back to my table. Let's see. Okay, Max shouldn't have started the fire that got her grounded by her father. She should be more careful. Well, I mean, that's a part of the passage, but that's not the whole thing. Max is angry because she is grounded and stuck in her grandfather's workshop. She doesn't like to spend time there. Max is grounded after starting a fire by accident, so she's spending time with her in her grandfather's workshop. She's working on a circuit board. Max has a red clown-nosed tip of the joystick on her wheelchair. She makes it honk like a clown. This is an opinion. Does she like? Yeah, she said it wasn't all that bad, so she kind of likes spending time there. Okay, got it. This is the best choice. A summary includes the most important ideas and events from a text in shortened form. This summary includes the most important details from the passage. It tells us where Max is, the workshop, and why she's grounded, and tells us what she's doing there, working on a circuit board. Okay. Oh, Chinese. Oh no, it's Japanese. Momotaro is a hero from Japanese folklore. Everyone feared the Oni. These demons were twice the size of men, with teeth as sharp as swords. Young and courageous Momotaro couldn't watch another village fall to these terrifying villains, so he set off for the Oni's castle on Demon Island. On the way, a dog approached him. "Where are you going?" asked the dog. "To defeat the Oni," Momotaro replied, offering him one of the dumplings he had brought along for his journey. "I'll join you," the dog barked. The monkey and pheasant also joined the group after Momotaro shared his dumplings with them. When they reached the Oni's castle, each knew their role. The pheasant attacked from above, the monkey climbed the walls to unlock the gates, and the dog leaped into battle beside Momotaro. The Oni finally surrendered, and Momotaro returned home a hero. After reading the passage, a student identifies this theme. When we combine our different abilities, we can take on big challenges. Which detail from the passage best supports this theme? Like the part where they all just ganged up to beat up the Oni. The pheasant flew over the Oni and attacked them. The dog helped Momotaro fight. Momotaro gave dumplings to the dog, monkey, and pheasant. I mean, that has the animals, but that doesn't show anything about challenge. The Oni was very tall and had very sharp teeth. That shows challenge, but not about different abilities. Momotaro couldn't defeat the Oni without his magic sword and shield, and the monkey's helpful spells. Kinda shows that, but this one shows a little bit more. There you go. The passage describes how each member of Momotaro's group knew their role when fighting the Oni. The pheasant attacked from above, and the dog leaped into battle beside Momotaro. In the end, the Oni finally surrendered. Each animal contributed something different to the fight based on what they were good at. Together, they successfully took on the big challenge of defeating the Oni. Alright, fourth question. Here we go. Thanks for joining me tonight. Feel free to say hi. Okay. I just saw a Family Guy episode. A Family Guy scene about the Trojan horse. But, okay, here we go. This poem is from Greek Myths, Classic Tales Retold as Fun Poems for Kids by Paul Perrault. In ancient Greece, The Greeks and Trojans were at war for 10 years. The Greek army couldn't figure out how to get inside the walls that surrounded the Trojan city of Troy, and the Trojans couldn't figure out how to escape their city and get past the Greek army. The Wooden Horse. Oh, it's a poem. Okay. For the poor Trojans trapped inside, the years slowly dragged on, until one day they woke up and the Greek army had gone. Outside the city walls, they found no Greek invasion force. Instead, they found the strangest thing, a giant wooden horse. Thinking it must be a sacrifice, they opened up the city gate and brought the horse inside and then began to celebrate. The Trojans did not realize the whole thing was a ploy. Greek soldiers hid inside the horse, and now they were in Troy. When the celebrations were over and the exhausted Trojans slept, a trapdoor opened in the horse, and out the soldiers crept. They opened up the city gate, and let the Greek army inside. That's right, the Greeks had not gone home. They'd just gone off to hide. Oh, well. All says you have a strong army and tall walls. Smart plan can succeed when fighting fails. True friends stand by you even when life is difficult. You should appreciate what you already have. I think it's this one. Yep. The Greeks had spent 10 years trying to fight their way inside Troy. But then the Greeks came up with a ploy, a sneaky plan. The Greeks hid soldiers inside a wooden horse, and the Trojans opened up the city gate and let the Greek army inside. Fighting failed, but this smart plan worked. Alright, 400 energy points, let's go. I'm gonna be honest, I do like the videos, but I do prefer reading stuff too. Okay. In this video, David talks about how to explain ideas in informational texts by asking 2 questions. What happened, and why did it happen?
Readers, hey, today we're digging into those 2 most important questions. What's happening and why is it happening? Today we're going to be talking about explaining ideas in informational texts. And an informational text is just like it sounds. It's a text that gives you information, right? That could be information about science, history, or some other subject. And these texts can discuss complex topics and include lots of details, and sometimes that can get a little overwhelming. But I'm going to show you a simple way to help you better understand and explain what's happening in an informational text. So when you're reading a text and you need to explain ideas or events in that text, ask yourself 2 simple questions. Question 1, what happened? Question 2, why did it happen? So let's put this into practice with a text about a kind of bamboo, which is a tall, tree-like plant that pandas eat, and that people eat. Bamboo shoots are delicious. Okay, here's the text. In the forests of China, there's a kind of bamboo, moso bamboo, that grows faster than any other plant in the world. Bamboo forests are thick and dark, so the best way for these plants to reach sunlight is to grow upwards very quickly. Bamboo plants store food and energy in their underground stems. When these stems send up a young bamboo plant, it shoots up very fast. Some species of giant bamboo can grow 44 inches in a single day. So, bamboo, let us ask the first question. What happened? Let me say it in my own words. The bamboo grew super fast. How do I know that? It's right there in the first sentence, right? This one kind of bamboo grows faster than any other plant in the world. And there at the end, 44 inches of growth in a single day. That's more than 3.5 feet. So now our question is, why? Why did it happen? Why does it grow so fast? Well, we must look for details in the text. What specific details in the text explain why this kind of bamboo grows so fast? Okay, so the text says bamboo forests are thick and dark. This sounds like it's describing a potential problem for plants not having enough sunlight. I know that plants need sunlight. So how does bamboo get sunlight? The next part of the sentence tells me that the best way for these plants to reach sunlight is to grow upwards very quickly. That's part of our why. The bamboo grows quickly to get sunlight. Why else? Why else do they grow so fast? The text says that a bamboo plant's underground stems store food and energy so that they can send up a stick of bamboo lightning fast so that the bamboo can reach sunlight speedily. This is another part of our why. So I'll recap. What happened? Moso bamboo grew super fast. Why does it do that? It needs to reach sunlight, and to do that, it uses stored up energy from its underground stems to grow quickly. Questions answered. Congratulations. You've just analyzed a scientific text with me. You're a scientist now. That's how this works. Asking what happened and why did that happen aren't just questions for scientists, of course. You can use them to understand pretty much any informational text. It can be fun to do this with the things you read, pulling them apart, asking, why did that happen? How did that happen? Building that skill makes you a better reader. So, good luck out there, scientists. May your informational texts be detailed and easy to understand. And good luck out there, pandas. May your bamboo grow swiftly, and may you never lack treats. And while we're at it, good luck out there, panda scientists. Ooh, that's a TV show. Okay, you can learn anything. David out.
I like I like the humor he has sometimes. Yeah, it's really cheeky, and I think it works definitely for the kids that watch these videos for sure. I did not know I got energy points for watching videos, so I'll definitely start watching the videos from now on. Let's read this article. Describing characters in a story. Oh, look, this guy is just thinking about a wizard. You know what I would love, though? I would love if there's a course like aimed for adults, because that's kind of why I started doing this in the first place, is because of like a handful of acquaintances and friends that I wanted to encourage to, further their education. And so, yeah, I would love if there was a system where people can look at the same material but kind of be more, I guess, appealing or catered towards like people who are 18 years old. Or so I think it's great what they're doing with this type of material, but I can see some people maybe not being as receptive to it, if that makes sense. Okay. Why should you describe literary characters? In many ways, literary characters are just like real people. Their thoughts, feelings, and backgrounds affect their choices. If you want to understand why things happen in a story, you need to understand the characters. Describing characters shows that you understand the text, allows you to think more deeply about the text, helps you predict what characters will do next. How do you describe literary characters? There are a few ways to learn about a character. You can look at their words and actions, their thoughts and feelings, and their backgrounds. I'll turn up. Let's turn the music up just a little bit. Words and actions. What characters say and do can tell you a lot about what's important to them. And how characters talk to other people helps you understand their relationships with different characters. Yeah, show me an example. When Heather saw the sign-up sheet for the Save the Bears Club, she immediately grabbed a pen out of her backpack and wrote her name on the first line. Then she turned and called across the cafeteria, "David, come sign up with me." From Heather's action here, signing up for the Save the Bears Club, we learn that she probably cares about saving bears. When she calls to David across the cafeteria, her words help us figure out that David's probably her friend. Thoughts and feelings. Sometimes authors will tell you directly what characters are thinking and feeling. After signing up for the Save the Bears Club, Heather couldn't focus in class all afternoon. She kept reciting bear facts in her head. Heather couldn't focus and keeps reciting bear facts to herself. This shows us that she's pretty excited about the Save the Bears Club. Background. What happened in a character's past can help you understand why they make choices they do in the present. Like every afternoon, Heather made sure no one was following her before she headed home. She could know that home was a cave. No one could know that home was a cave where a black bear had raised her, since she'd left in the woods as a baby. Oh wow. Okay. Now we know why Heather cares about bears. She was raised by one. This helps us understand why she was so excited about the Save the Bears Club earlier in the story. It can help to put your information in a character map, like this one. Words and actions, thoughts and feelings, background. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Note that you can also learn a lot about a character by looking at how other characters respond to them. I'm going to save this. I like this. I like this a lot. Now note that you could also learn a lot about a character by looking at how other characters respond to them. Let's work through an example together. Read the passage from School for Good and Evil by Sonam Chainani. Sophie's father said, "If it's goodness that schoolmaster fellow wants, he'll take Gunilda's daughter." Sophie tensed. "Belle?" "Perfect child that one is," he said. Brings her father home-cooked lunches at the mill. Gives the leftovers to the poor hag in the square. Sophie heard the edge of her father's voice. She had never once cooked a full meal for him, and even after her mother died. Naturally, she had a good reason. The oil and smoke would clog her pores. But she knew it was a sore point. She studied her face in the wall. The rude awakening had taken its toll. Her waist-long hair, the color of spun gold, didn't have its usual sheen. Her jade-green eyes looked faded, and her luscious red lips a touch dry. Even the glow of her creamy peach skin had dulled. But still a princess, she thought. Her father couldn't see she was special, but her mother had. A reader wants to describe Sophie in depth. Let's look at her words and actions, thoughts and feelings, and background. Sophie talks with the father about Belle. Sophie's father said Belle is a good person, it's just Sophie isn't. His words make Sophie feel tense or act stressed. This suggests that Sophie cares whether other people think she is good. What is this one? What does Sophie think and feel in the passage? During her talk with her father, Sophie thinks about how she could never cook for him because the oil and smoke would clog her pores. She also thinks about how being woken up means that she's not as beautiful as usual. These thoughts suggest that Sophie deeply values her beauty. What do we learn about Sophie's background in the passage? We learn that Sophie has a father who seems to dislike her. Her mother also seems to be gone because Sophie says that her mother had thought Sophie was special, not that she does now. Try it. Read the passage from Edit. Oh, my dog's coming. Read the passage from Edda Invincible by Reese Eschman. Edda's doctor thinks she is Meniere's disease, which makes it hard for her to hear some days. I have loud days when every car horn is a concert, and quiet days when my own footsteps when my footsteps sound soft as a ninja mouse. Quiet days usually come in the spring and summer, when my allergies kick me in the gut and I'm all sneezes and tissues and say that again? Quiet is the best way to get lost in heroes and stories. It's like I'm wearing built-in Beats headphones to cancel out all the noise I don't need. No one ever believes I like quiet days. Even my teachers just look at me like I'm a sad little sidekick. What do readers learn about Edda in this passage? Edda wears Beats headphones to drown out all the noise on quiet days. Not true. She said it's like Beats. Edda had quiet days because she always forgets to take her allergy medicine. Edda doesn't mind quiet days because they allow her to focus on stories. Edda has tried to hide from her teachers how much she hates quiet days. She doesn't hate quiet days. Yeah. Remember, describing characters helps you better understand their choices and predict what will happen next. Look at characters' words and actions, thoughts and feelings, and backgrounds to learn more about who they are and what's important to them. Happy reading. Why she describes events in a story. Events are the major things that happen in a story. All the events in a story make up the plot. Describing events helps you show that you understand the text, think more deeply about the text, understand how characters act and change. How do you describe events? Figure out exactly what's happening. Pay attention not only to what's happening, but also who it's happening to and how characters react to it. Determine how the event changes the story. Events can change stories in many different ways. For example, they can create or introduce a problem, grow readers' understanding of a character, force characters to make a choice, solve a problem. Let's try it together. Ben Braver. Oh, it's cool. It looks. That's an interesting looking superhero. Read the passage from The Super Life of Ben Braver by Marcus Emerson. Ben Braver has just insulted Dexter to get him to stop pulling Caden's dog's leash. The kids around us giggled, which only made Dexter angrier. He dropped the dog's leash, saved the dog, nailed it. And Dexter fixed his eyes on me, his creepy, cloudy eyes. Super not normal. The area around Dexter became engulfed in shadow, but the shadow floated like the air like smoke. The concrete cracked under my feet. The whites of Dexter's eyes were gone. They were just black sockets on his face. Super terrifyingly not normal. I'm so tired. We know from the notes before the passage that Ben had just insulted Dexter. How does Dexter respond? He drops the dog's leash, which is good, but then his eyes go cloudy and later turn totally black. Not so good. The area around Dexter becomes shadowy and concrete under Ben's feet cracks. Let's change story. Here we can find that Ben has solved one problem. One second, let me adjust my headphones real quick. That's better. Here we can find that Ben has solved one problem. Dexter had let Caden's dog go. But the text also introduces a new problem. Ben has made an enemy of a bully who seems to have strange powers. We also learn about Dexter because we discover that he has strange abilities. So this event solves one problem, introduces the problem, and develops a character. Looks like... Karate? Hakoyo! Wendy walked into the dojang and looked around nervously. It was her first taekwondo class. Some of the kids were talking in pairs or groups. Wendy spotted a tall girl standing by herself in the corner. She went over to a girl and introduced herself. "Do you mind?" the girl snapped. "I'm practicing my breathing. Controlling your breath is very important in taekwondo." Wendy blushed. Luckily, just then the instructor walked in. "Welcome," he said. "Today we're going to learn some basic stances and kicks." Wendy focused on putting her feet in the right place, but she kept mixing up the stances. Maybe taekwondo isn't for me, she thought. Then moved on to front kicks and side kicks. After some practice, the instructor called Wendy to the front of the class to help demonstrate a move. She wanted to disappear. When she did a side kick so the instructor could show how to block it, she exclaimed, "That was a great kick." Oh, he explained, "That was a great kick. Perfect form." Wendy blushed again, this time with pride. She couldn't wait to come back next week. Whatever it causes Wendy to like the taekwondo class. Her demonstrating the kick, obviously. And introduces herself to a girl, makes a new friend. No, she does not make a new friend. Wendy focuses on putting her feet in the right places when practicing stances. Well, she mixes up the stances, so Wendy demonstrates a side kick, and the instructor praises her. This one definitely. Yep. Although Wendy is nervous about demonstrating a move, the instructor tells her that it was a great kick. This causes her to feel pride and look forward to coming to the class next week. Remember, describing a story's events helps you better understand the plot and how characters change throughout the text. To describe a story's events, first figure out what's happening, then figure out how the events change story or reader's understanding of the characters. Happy reading. Setting, here we go. Oh, it's Toon World. Learn how the setting of a story, where and when the story takes place, affects the choices that characters make. Why should you describe literary settings? A kid in the United States today will have very different experiences and make different choices than a kid living in ancient Greece or a kid living on a planet ruled by giant tater tots. Characters and stories also live in places and times that affect the choices they can make. Describing a story's setting, or when and where the story happens, helps you understand why characters do what they do. How do you describe setting? There are a few different parts of setting. To describe setting, look at when the story takes place. The author might tell you an exact year, and we just have to figure out a rough time period. For example, a story about a kid living on Mars probably takes place in the future. Where a story takes place, this could be a specific place, like Texas or Spain, or a type of place, like a city or a castle. Even if an author doesn't tell you exactly where a story takes place, you can probably figure some things out. If the main character lives in a floating house, for example, they're probably living in a world that's not our own. What the rules are for the story's world? The rules of a story's world define how people behave, and what creatures exist, and whether laws apply equally to all people. Maybe you've got a world where tall people don't have to follow the laws. That's going to be important in the story. Let's look at an example. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I like the colors. Very bright, very lively. Lots of saturation. Really pops out. Read the passage from Never After by Melissa de la Cruz. Once upon a time, in the days of old, 11 fairies gathered at court for a child to hold. Oh, is this a freaking rhyme? Only 11, for the 12th was dead, and the 13th was missing. and an invitation for every living fairy except the 13th had been previously sealed, sent, and delivered. Signed, sent, delivered? That's what I thought when I read that. A formal request to come forth and bless a sweet newborn princess. Now all of Never After had come to Westphalia to celebrate the long-awaited day. Creatures old and new, of every height and hue, from towering dragons, their armored scales glittering golden green, to warded goblins and rambunctious dwarves. Let's answer some questions and describe the setting. Where it take place? Westphalia? We don't know exactly when the story takes place, but we know it happens once upon a time in the days of old. Where does the story take place? We learned that all of Never After had come to Westphalia. We may not know exactly what these places are, but we can make a guess that Never After is a world, and Westphalia might be a kingdom. Fantasy creatures exist in the world of Never After. We can also figure out that it seems to be normal for fairies to bless royal babies. This passage is from Amir and Hamza, The War to Save the Worlds, by Samira Ahmed, the character telling the story as Amira. I don't believe in wishes, all caps. Not anymore. Wishes are for little kids and old-timey cartoon princesses, and people who think a star in the night sky is actually a twinkly, enchanted jewel, and not just a hot, glowing ball of gas. I wasn't always like this. I used to make wishes, and if I ever see an actual shooting star and not a bright speck of light that turns out to be an airplane or Chicago's night sky, I might make a wish on it, because, hello, seeing a shooting star in a city full of light pollution would basically be a miracle. But otherwise, I'm declaring this, my 12th year of being alive. I'm giving up on hoping and dreaming too hard for impossible things. Officially, precisely, this new life plan began yesterday afternoon after 3 p.m. when I failed my karate test. Again. What best describes the setting of the passage? Story takes place in the Christ in the present. Story takes place in present Chicago. Story fantasy world with stars grant wishes. She was at the karate dojo yesterday. I say Chicago. Amir says that if she ever sees a shooting star in Chicago's night sky, she might make a wish on it. So we know she's in Chicago. She also talks about cartoon princesses and describes stars as hot glowing balls of gas. If she knows about cartoons and has scientific knowledge of stars, we can guess the story takes place close to today's time. Remember, describing story's setting helps you better understand the choices characters make. Look at when a story takes place, as well as the rules of the story's world, and learn more about characters' experiences. Happy reading. I like how this goes over characters, settings, and events. Yeah, I don't think I even worried about this kind of stuff until high school. But yeah, this is good material for 4th graders. Parts of test. Let's go. Alright, this guy is definitely European. Riding a bike. Oh. The left side of the road. Daniel Kish. He's blind? That's crazy. Daniel Kish lost his eyes to cancer before he was 2 years old. But Kish didn't let that slow him down. Today, he camps by himself, bikes on busy roads, and climbs trees. How? Kish has developed his own superpower, echolocation. Echolocation is the ability to use sound to identify nearby objects. Bats and dolphins use echolocation. These animals make clicking noises and listen to the echoes of their clicks to figure out what is around them. Kish had figured out how to echolocate too. He uses clicks to hear what's around him. Today, Kish works to share what he has learned. So far, he has taught over 500 children around the world how to quote-unquote see with echolocation. Based on the text, how does Daniel Kish's echolocation work? Well, there's the answer right there. He has figured out how to make human echolocation work, so he can... Well, this doesn't show how it works. That's the introduction. I think this is it. got it. Okay. Look at this lion. This is a passage from The Tiger's Apprentice by Lawrence Yep. Tom has just learned that Mr. Who, a magical tiger disguised as a human, will train him to guard a powerful magical object. Are there many others like him? Tom asked. I mean, Hannah wants to talk. Like me, you mean? Mr. Who arched an eyebrow. Of course. The whole world loves to come to San Francisco to live. In a place with so many different types of people, who would notice a few who are a little more, quote, unique? If humans like to live in San Francisco, why not magical creatures? You'll find griffins from Wales, garudas from India, trickster mantises from Africa. They all come here because of the chi. Tom remembers his studies. That's like a kind of energy, isn't it? Mr. Who shaped it, an invisible pipe with his fingers. It flows through the world. There are some spots where there are many lines of it, and San Francisco is one. Anyone with magic would be drawn here. What do readers learn about the story setting from this passage? They're in San Francisco. Takes place in the future when science is created talking animals. This story takes place in a city where everyone has some kind of magic. Thought I heard something outside. Ooh. The whole world loves to come to San Francisco to live in a place with so many different types of people. Who would notice a few who are a little more unique? So he's saying magical creatures don't stand out in San Francisco because there are so many different types of people there. Gotcha. Junko Tabe. Climbing the world's highest mountain isn't easy. Climbers face freezing temperatures, limited oxygen, snowstorms during the 29,032-foot climb. But none of that stopped Junko Tabe, the first woman to reach Mount Everest's summit. Tabe fell in love with climbing on a school field trip. When she finished college, she started a club for women mountain climbers. In 1975, the club climbed Everest, facing bad weather and an avalanche that buried Tabe for a short time. The team chose Tabe to be the first to the top. Scaling Everest taught Tabe many things about climbing and leadership, but it also taught her how important it is to care for our mountains. She eventually became the leader of the Himalayan Adventure Trust of Japan, a group that protects mountain environments. Based on the text, what is a challenge that Junko Tabe faced when climbing Mount Everest? An avalanche. She wants to be at the top. She snowstorm hit the trail. She learned how important. Yeah, avalanche. It straight up says that. Ooh, Japan again. Isao Machi. Isao Machi is the first person who ever lived. The modern samurai has used his sword to slice a bullet traveling 200 miles per hour. Where does he get his superhuman speed? Because part of his skill comes from practice. Machi has practiced martial arts for decades, but there's more to his abilities than that. Scientists believe that Machi's brain works differently than the average person's. Processing speed is how quickly a person can sense something, understand it, and respond. The average person has much slower processing speed than Machi. The bullet would have passed before the average person's eyes even lifted their sword. So scientists think that Machi must process things differently from the rest of us. Machi's incredible brain and years of practice make him a real-life Superman. Based on the text, what is responsible for Machi's superhuman speed? His processing speed, his brain, pretty much. More easier practice than any other martial arts on the planet. A combination of hard work and eyes that work faster than average humans. Warrior spent training his brain for processing speed more than any other humans done. A combination of years of practice and our brain that processes information quickly. Knew it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 400. Okay. Pause the music.
Never fear, wordsmiths. It is I,
So, let's learn about the word ability, heroic, and villain. I'll go through what they mean and how to use them.
Vocabulary man, here to save the day and teach you to read and stuff. Fine, I may have the ability to leap over whole dictionaries, understand new or unusual words, and bring deadly dull sentences back to life, but so can you. But will you be heroic with your language, or will you be a villain? Okay, so those are our words for this video. I want to go through what they mean and how to use them. First, ability. Ability. It's a noun, a person, place, thing, or idea. It means being able to do something. I have the amazing ability to fold my tongue in half. Like so, you can't see it, but I'm doing it. Word number 2, heroic. Heroic. It's an adjective, a describing word. It means like a hero, very brave. And finally, villain. Villain. It's a noun, this is a kind of person. It means the main bad character in a story. What's cool about these two chunks of words here is that they change the meaning of each word. These are called suffixes. They go at the ends of words. Itty, I-T-Y, is a suffix that makes words into nouns. It isn't a word on its own. You can't say, I'll have an itty sandwich for lunch. But it can turn adjectives into nouns. So, for example, the word pure becomes purity, the quality of being pure, pureness. The word real becomes reality, the state of being real, of realness. And able becomes ability, the quality or state of being able to do something. So it turns an adjective into a noun. And ick is a suffix that makes words into adjectives, into describing words. So we can even say it probably goes the other way, from noun to adjective. We can take a noun like acid and add ick, and you get acidic, an adjective that means like acid or sour. So you might say that a lemon tastes acidic. So something heroic is like a hero. Anyway, let's use these words in some sentences. As Icicle Girl, Celia had the ability to freeze anything, which made her fun at parties. Frozen watermelon, anyone? This was something she could do. She was able to freeze stuff. It was heroic to try walking Sparky, the world's strongest dog. Sparky may look small, but she pulls with the strength of 50 ordinary dogs. Dr. Splitends, the barber villain, was about to use his bad hair ray on the whole city. You see, a terrible thing to do, a villainous thing, a thing that a bad guy would do, ruin everyone's hair. Hup, sorry, wordsmiths, that's the vocabulary signal. I must away. But remember, you can learn anything. David out!
This video. Let's learn about words, admire, and inspire. I'll go through what they mean and how to use them.
Wordsmiths, hello. You ought to know that I'm proud of you. I think you're great, and I respect you for your hard work and all the progress you're making. I admire you, and you inspire me. Those are our words for this video, admire and inspire. They rhyme, which is neat, but not the most important thing. Let's go over some definitions. Admire, admire. This is a verb, an action word, and it means to like and respect someone because of what they've done or what they're like. Inspire, inspire. This is also a verb, and it means to make someone want to do or be something. Admire has a very common prefix inside of it, a very common word part, ad. It means to, at, or on. And the mire part means look or wonder. If any of you know Spanish, it's like the verb mirar, to look. So when you admire someone, you're looking at them, you're looking up to them, you're giving them attention that says, I think you're great. Inspire is also made up of two word parts. There's in, which quite handily means in, like inside, and then there's spire, which comes from the Latin word for breath. Something that inspires you, fills you with life. It's like breathing a deep breath of fresh air. It's also there in the word spirit, like energy or a soul. Let's use these words in some sentences, shall we? I've always admired chef and teacher Jacques Pepin, whose books taught me how to cook. I just think he's so cool. And he did a whole book about chickens. Like, it was a cookbook, right? But it was also full of stories and essays and paintings that he'd done, but just entirely about chickens. He's great. I learned so much from those books. Whenever I cook French food, I think about Jacques Pepin and how cool he is, because I admire him. I like and respect him because of what he did and what he's like. Okay, next sentence. My love of cheese inspired this invention, said Pamela, pointing to her Swiffier machine. Her love of cheese inspired her. It made her want to do something, and that something was to build a machine that punched holes in cheese so that it looked like Swiss cheese. You know, we all come to the work of life with different goals. I can't judge, especially because I, too, love cheese. All right. Catch you in the next one, wordsmiths. You can learn anything. David out. Hail and well met, word.
Let's learn about the words courageous, description, and mythology. I'll go through what they mean and how to use them.
Smiths, today the mist lifts off the mountains, and we must face our greatest enemy, not knowing stuff. I am confident that together we can defeat it. One word at a time. Ow, okay. Well, in this case, we're going to do it 3 words at a time. Our words today are courageous. Courageous. It's an adjective, a describing word. Courageous means able or willing to do something even if you're afraid. Description. Description. It's a noun, a person, place, thing, or idea. A description is some words that explain what something is like. And mythology. Mythology. It's another noun. It means a group of stories that people in the past used to explain nature or the world. These are some fun words, and they all have interesting suffixes. A suffix is a word part that goes on the end of a word and changes the word's meaning. The word courageous has the word courage in it, right? Courage means bravery, and it's a noun. But when we add ous to it, it changes it to an adjective, because ous means full of. Courageous means full of courage, full of bravery. Nervous means full of nerves. Furious means full of fury. You're so mad. Over to description. Let's focus on the suffix shun, T-I-O-N. This one makes verbs into nouns. So the word describe means to explain what something is like, right? So if I slap T-I-O-N on there, the word changes to description, words that explain what something is like. Now it's a noun. It's a thing, not an action word. Even the word action. Look, I take the word act, to do, to perform, and now I add T-I-O-N, and suddenly it's a thing, an action, a noun. Mythology has the suffix logi, which means the science of or the study of. Bio means life, so biology is the study of life. Geo means earth, so geology is the study of the earth. Myth means old stories, so mythology is the study of old stories. Now we use it to talk about those old stories as a group. Let's use these words in some sentences. Courageous Matilda took a deep breath and entered the cave of the foul-smelling onion beast. She was very brave, you see, to enter the lair of the onion beast. She was full of courage. I guess the onion beast was full of onions. Onioness? Sure. This magic sword doesn't do anything its description online said it would. This is why you have to check the reviews, people. If the description says it's an electric flaming sword of darkness, but it's racking up 1-star ratings all over the place, that description is probably untrue. There's a lesson there. Never buy a sword on the internet. In the mythology of the Maya people, the first human beings were made out of corn. In the stories that the Maya people...
I'm going to drink some water. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. Had some water. Let's get back into it.
tell about the long ago past of people, this is one of the explanations that they have about where people came from. I'm from Illinois, so it's hard to argue with. I grew up eating a lot of corn. I was full of corn. Cornulous? Cornful? Nice work today, wordsmiths. I feel like we really took a chunk out of not knowing stuff. Our greatest enemy. Keep at it. The more you know, the weaker he becomes. You can learn anything. David out.
Interesting. All right, vocab quiz time. 4 questions. Let's go. Which word best completes the sentence to explain what's happening in the picture? After practicing the guitar every day for 6 months, Destiny's blank to play songs has greatly improved. Ability. Yeah, we got this. A student wrote the sentence. Richard loved to myth, so he often made up new tales about magic and heroes to tell his sister. Did the student use the word myth correctly in the sentence? No, because myth is a noun, meaning story from the past. Yeah. Match each word to the sentence it best completes. Kendra earned a medal for her blank after rescuing a kid that had gotten stuck in a tree. I'd say it's heroism. In Taryn's mind, there was no one more blank than her father. It's courageous. They traveled across the world to find a safe home for their family. And this one is the first time that Carlos tried soccer, he was excited to find that he had a natural kicking ability. Yep. Select a word that best completes each sentence. Blank has been used around the world for thousands of years to explain how nature works. Myths. Mythology. Some stories blank why natural disasters happen, while other stories explain how animals got their special blank, like the cheetah's skill at running or the spider's talent for climbing. Some stories describe why natural disasters happen, while other stories explain how animals got their special abilities, like the cheetah's skill at running or the spider's talent for climbing. Easy. Too easy. Well, I mean, it should be too easy. Now we're going to do the unit test. Alright, guys. I'm timed. Let's go. Alright. Nichelle Nichols on the set of Star Trek. Did you know that a TV show helped launch real astronauts into space? In the 1960s, Nichelle Nichols played Lieutenant Uhura on the TV show Star Trek. Nichols' character was a space officer who worked beside the ship's captain. At that time, black women on TV were rarely shown in important roles. Nichols' role as Uhura broke barriers, even though Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. knew how much this mattered. He told Nichols that seeing her on TV helped people imagine a better future. Nichols also worked with NASA to create real astronauts. Mae Jemison, the first black woman in space, said that Nichols' character inspired her to become an astronaut because she saw someone who looked like her exploring space. Nichelle Nichols didn't just play a hero, she became one because of the people she inspired to reach for the stars. Which detail from the passage best supports the idea that Nichols helped change how people viewed black women? Dr. Martin Luther King watched Star Trek? No. Nichols told Mae Jemison to apply for a position at NASA. Star Trek was a TV show set in space. Nichols played an important character on Star Trek. Yeah. I like how there's feedback. I love that feedback. That feedback is awesome. Especially for the wrong answers as well. Alright, here we go. What are we doing here? Carlos Magdalena. There's a new kind of superhero in London, but instead of fighting villains, he's saving plants. His name is Carlos Magdalena, and he's a research horticulturist. That means he studies plants and takes care of them. Just like some people work to protect animals from going extinct, Magdalena works to save rare and endangered plants. Magdalena travels all over the world looking for plants that are in danger of disappearing. When he finds one, he tries different ways to help it grow. He keeps testing until he finds what works. Then he grows more of the plant and returns it to the wild, where it can survive and grow on its own. Magdalena uses creativity, science, and a lot of patience to bring plants back to life. Which detail from the passage suggests that not all plants have the same needs. There's a new kind of superhero in London, but instead of fighting villains, save plants. Not really. His name is Carlos Magdalena, and he's a research horticulturist. That means he studies plants and takes care of them. No. Magdalena travels all over the world looking for plants that are in danger of disappearing. When he finds one, he tries different ways to keep it to grow. He keeps testing until he finds what works. This one. Booyah. Okay, we're at a costume party. Which word best completes the sentence to explain what's happening in the picture? Naveen wanted to be the hero in a play, but he was chosen to play the villain instead. He found that he loved making mean faces and waving his sword around. Yeah, this makes sense. Atalanta stood at the edge of the forest, observing the giant boar. The ferocious creature had killed warriors twice her size. Now the king commanded the most courageous hunters in Greece to stop it. Male hunters sneered when Atalanta joined the hunt. "Go home, girl," they yelled. None of them believed a female hunter like Atalanta had the ability to defeat the boar. But Atlanta? Why are you guys misspelling stuff? Study the boar's movements closely and notice it always turned right before attacking. When the enormous boar charged, Atalanta stepped to the left, drew back her bow, and fired a single arrow. Her perfect shot wounded the terrible creature and allowed the other hunters to kill it. After the hunt, the king awarded Atalanta with the boar's hide for making the kill possible. Which sentence would be most important to include in a summary of the passage? You shouldn't judge someone's ability based on what they look like. Atalanta noticed the boar made a noise before attacking. The king knew that Atalanta was the best hunter in Greece. Atalanta fired the arrow that wounded the boar. Probably this one. Well, that doesn't happen. They didn't know that. Yep. There we go. Dang, look at that jump. In this passage from Going Wild by Lisa McMahon, Charlie's running away from school after accidentally destroying a bathroom with her super strength. Charlie pushed through the exit doors into the cool evening air, but she didn't stop. Finally, when she was safely away from school, she stopped running and began pawing madly at her wrist, trying to get the bracelet off. It wouldn't budge. It was stuck. If she was strong enough to rip a sink out the wall, why couldn't she get this stupid bracelet off her arm? Charlie didn't know what to do. She didn't know where to turn. All she knew was that ever since she'd started wearing the bracelet, she somehow gained ridiculous speed, extraordinary strength, and the power to heal herself. She dropped to her knees, put her face in the grass, and yelled. She had to yell. She had to get out of her frustration. Which sentence best describes Charlie? She isn't certain how she got her powers, but she's excited to try them out. She feels angry that the school hasn't bothered to teach her how to use her powers. She believes the bracelet calls her powers and wants to get rid of them. She thinks someone gave her the bracelet so she'd be able to heal people. Do that. Hector Bellerin. Some athletes celebrate a win with victory dances or high fives. Soccer player Hector Bellerin celebrates by planting 3,000 trees in the Amazon forest. Bellerin plays for Real Betis, a soccer Spanish team. Real Betis is known for being one of the greenest teams in the world. The team aims to make soccer better for the planet. For example, they try not to travel in planes, which release a lot of harmful gases into the air. Instead, they usually travel by trains. And the team decided they didn't want new plastic seats in their stadium. They had the stadium seats made from recycled litter collected from the ocean instead. Bellerin and the Real Betis play not just for themselves, but for the good of the planet we all share. Based on the text, what is the specific action that the entire Real Betis team has taken to protect the planet? Travel by trains must be possible. The team traveled to the Amazon forest to plant the tree. That's Real Betis. That's Bellerin. The team not just plays for themselves, but also for the good of the planet. The team members collected litter in every country on Earth. Alright, here we go. The student wrote the sentence. There was no one Celine admired more than her little brother, because he whined so much that she couldn't stand to be around him. Admired. Did the student use the word admire correctly in the sentence? Yes, because you already gave up someone. No, because you would respect and want to be near someone you admire. Yes, because it makes sense that Celine would be annoyed by someone who whined so much. No, because Celine should teach her brother better manners rather than just getting away from him. Yep, knew that one. Oh, shoot. Read this one already. What's the theme of the poem? I think this is it. I did this one already. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Rudy Garcia Tolson in the 2012 Paralympics. Okay, I see. When Garcia Tolson was born, doctors said he might never walk. He was born with a serious problem in both legs. His parents decided to have both his legs removed above the knee so he could use prosthetics. They hoped this would give him the best chance to live an active life. Garcia Tolson didn't just learn to walk. He became a champion runner and swimmer. Oh, dang. He won his first gold medal at the Paralympic Games when he was just 15 years old. He even finished an Ironman triathlon, a 140-mile race that includes swimming, biking, and running. Dang, I gotta look into Ironman. Those are intense. Today, Garcia Tolson visits schools to inspire other kids facing challenges. His motto says it all: no legs, no limits. Which sentence best summarizes the passage? Even though Rudy Garcia Tolson has serious problems with both his legs, his parents taught him how to walk. An Ironman triathlon is a challenging 140-mile race that includes swimming, biking, running. I mean, that's a detail, but that's not the summary. After his legs were removed, Rudy Garcia Tolson became a successful athlete and inspiration to kids. You shouldn't listen to people who doubt your abilities and tell you what you can't do. We're looking for a summary. I think this is the best summary right now. Alright. Last question. Okay. Processing speed. Based on the text, what is responsible for Maichi's superhuman speed? I did this question already. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Leveled up skills 6. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So that's how you get crowns. Unit 2. I want to see my progress. Been streaming for a little over an hour now. Let's see. Level 10. I need 2 more skills to level up. You know what I want? I do want to take a break from this. I think... Okay, let's see. I didn't start statistics yet. Ooh, electrical engineering. Dang, there's so much. Ooh, I could do like... Should I just freaking speed run all of these? I feel like maybe one stream I should just like plow through all this math. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Internet safety. Ooh, AI for education. Oh, what is this? Texas Techs? What is that? Florida Best? Interesting. Yeah, I think I want to switch to math because math was a subject that a few of my friends were struggling with. Oh, it's integral calculus. I feel like I could speed run through these. Yeah, maybe I'll take a break from this series and speed run through math. What do you guys think? Should I speed run through math or should I continue reading? I mean, I'm going to end up doing both of them anyways, but yeah, I'm really tempted to just speed run through the math course and just like go through all the courses just to build up my levels. But yeah, might be interesting. Yeah, that concludes my